Greetings, guys. Some more random thoughts from an old guy here. I'm sitting in the store parking lot, and for some reason, whenever I get to the store parking lot, I think of things that I want to tell you guys and share with you. And I've mentioned in other videos that for some reason I've gotten into watching a lot of videos where about the wall, where the women in their 30s and 40s hit the wall, and because their standards were so high, they rejected so many men, and now they're finding themselves lonely and living with 13 cats. Nothing against cats, but I was listening to a couple of these videos and I started thinking because somebody said something about having children, whether to have them young or whether to have them old. And I wanted to share this with you young people who are either newly married or you're thinking of getting married and you're thinking about raising a family. I want to tell you a choice that I made along with my ex back when we were very young, and how I really think it was the correct choice. Now, marrying her was not the correct choice, but this was a good choice. By the way, I'm coming up on 19 years with the right woman. Is it 18 or 19? I don't know. It's 18 or 19 years. But anyways, yeah. So I met my ex-wife right when I got out of the Army. So I was 21 years old. She was 18 years old. That's pretty young. And the fact that we lasted just about 20 years, that's a miracle in and of itself. Um, she was a good liar, that's why. But anyways, not bitter, not bitter. Actually, listen, that whole divorce thing, and I've talked about it in other videos, best thing that ever happened to me. I'm not a big advocate of divorce, but I will say that I'm a lot healthier, I'm a lot wealthier, and I'm a lot happier than I ever was during the years I spent with her. So sometimes divorce is a gift. But back to the children. So when we were young and we had our whole lives ahead of us, we talked about having children. We agreed we wanted children, and we really got lucky because we wanted 3 children. We wanted 2 boys and a girl, with the 2 boys being older, and our first children were identical twins, and then the third one was the third child was a daughter. So it worked out great. But the question was, do we have children now when we're young and we have no money and we're just starting out in life, broke as you can be, and suffer those kind of struggles financially, raising children and getting a house and blah blah blah, living somewhere, renting, whatever? Or do we wait until we're more financially stable and have children later in life? Well, we opted to do it young for the very reasons that I advocate doing it. At that time, we had many discussions. I can remember them very clearly, where, my thought process was, I'll just speak for myself. My thought process was, do I want to be an older father who is too broken, too tired, physically screwed up to interact with young children or teenagers? Or do I want to, but have a nice home and have all the things that, the material things? Or do I want to interact with them and be able to keep up with them and participate in an active life with my children, though struggle financially? And that's what we opted for. And I can tell you, man, I mean, I was a young cop at the time. I was in the police academy for LAPD when I got married. And so, here I am working some crazy hours. I worked mostly at nighttime, what most people would call graveyard hours. So that way, when I got home, I could do things with the kids. And I mean, I did it all. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I was heavily involved with these guys. I was their Cub Scout leader, assistant basketball coach, all this other stuff. And then things that we did just as a family too. But, you'd come home and put on your Cub Scout uniform and take them to the apple orchard, an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and spend the day there, or do the Pinewood Derby races, that the scouts do. And, you got to have the scouts in your garage doing crafts and whatnot. And my ex was really good with the kids too, and did a lot of cool things with them. So we were very involved with them and took them hiking, took them camping. They all learned how to fish when they could hold a fishing pole. They were catching fish. When they could shoot a gun, when they could hold the gun, they were shooting guns, all of them. And it was a very active life with these guys. And yeah, it was stressful because I couldn't get them a lot of the things that I would have been able to get them had I been older and had a bigger savings account. But I talk to them now, they're all grown, and we talk a lot about the past, and they are very, very happy and content and satisfied with their childhood memories, because of the fact that we were in it with them, attending football games, practicing with them, teaching them how to, box, getting boxing gloves, doing all of the stuff that I couldn't do. I'm 62 years old now. Will you stop honking the horn, or I'm going to get out of here and show you just what an old man can do. Oh, did I say it out loud? I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm 62 years old now, man, and I got to say that I'm in agony is an understatement, man. I've got lots of injuries, and it's hard for me to get up and walk the dogs. I walk my dogs 4 miles every other day, and I don't look forward to it, man. It's not easy. But back then, I run a marathon, and we did actual little walking marathons with the kids. If we were supporting this thing, I think we actually did the AIDS marathon. Was it a marathon or called it was like, I don't remember what it was, like 5K or something. But the kids were young, and we put on our little beat AIDS shirts, and got them involved, man. They were involved in everything, and we went places and we did things, and we had to freaking struggle to be able to do that financially. And we lived, we rented houses all the way up until we could buy an old fucked up house. My first house was $89,900, and looking at the way I look at things now, my God, it was a miracle that the house didn't fall down. But it had a built-in swimming pool, had fruit trees. The house is probably worth freaking $2 million right now. I need to look it up. But yeah, we lived far away from work, so we could afford the house. I worked in Hollywood, and I bought a house in Rancho Cucamonga. It's like 70 something miles east. That's a long way to go, man. They burn up your cars going and coming to work. But those are decisions that I hope you'll think about, and figure out which one you want, because you can't take it back. If you wait to have them when they're older, remember your kids are going to have old parents. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. It didn't sound attractive to me. And I know if I didn't grow up in a normal family, so I didn't have a father, and my mom was all fucked up and everything. But if I had a normal family, I don't think I'd want to have a set of old parents, who couldn't do anything because their arthritis was kicking in. Even if I lived in a nice, beautiful house, but you want to interact when you're young, with your parents, and create memories that will hopefully transcend generations, in the future generations, as they hear about how cool Grandpa Mike was. But anyways, that's my thought for the day, man. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Was it dumb having them young? I don't think it was. But in your opinion, do you think it's better to have more money and be financially stable? Or would you prefer to do it the way we did it, which is also to teach the kids how to be frugal? Let them know that you can't get everything you want. We bought the boys a motorcycle, and we had a fucking dirt bike. We couldn't buy them each a dirt bike. There were older friends of mine who had teenage kids who, had the nice motorhome and the trailer with the 2 dirt bikes and the jet skis. We couldn't do that, but we were able to compromise. Hey, here's 1 dirt bike for the both of you guys. Because remember, when you got identical twins, you got to get 2 of everything, or you got to share the 1 thing. And the kids did okay. They got what they needed, and in about 99% of the cases, they got what they wanted to. It's just that we would have to tell them, hey, we can't afford that now, but if that's really what you want, give us a couple months to save up for it. And I worked a couple jobs. Most of my life I worked multiple jobs, and my ex was working too, so we would just make it happen. Anyways, that's my thought for the day. I gotta run in and get coffee creamer. That's what I'm here for. Hope you guys are doing good, and I hope you had a great weekend. Today's Sunday as I'm making this, and have a great, safe week coming up. Stay safe. Out.